Uno se picó un ojo y quedó ciego. One man poked his eye, and the young man was left blind. They took him to the doctor here at the hospital and said he had done it at his home, cleaning the yard, not at work.
A shocking story from a former forest worker.
Como él no sabía inglés, because he didn't know English, that's what the boss wrote, that he had hurt himself at home and to send him the bill. And the boss only paid the emergency room bill and told the young man, take this. I'm going to pay you your check. I'm going to give you another $100 so you can take the bus and go heal in Mexico. I'll send you money there. Mando dinero para allá.
Fed lies and deceptions, workers say they were put in danger and left hanging financially.
And he never sent him anything, and the young man was left blind.
This story, one of many. Forest workers laboring, sweating, often untrained, without protection from chainsaws or falling trees. Sometimes left to fend for themselves, injured in the woods. The culprit, they accuse, unscrupulous local forest contractors cutting labor costs to keep bids low and win state and federal forestry agency contracts.
I believe they owe all the workers about $2,200 to $2,500.
This forest worker says he's just one worker owed money. He tried to make a difference reporting to the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, the Labor Commission, and the president in charge of forest workers. The result, partial payment and a lot of heartache. A 2012 study of 150 forest workers in the Rogue Valley found 70% of its participants reporting wage theft. Not wanting their voices heard or faces shown, these men told News 10 about what they say happens behind the trees.
What we found is that there are all kinds of abuses going on.
According to Carl Wilmson, executive director of the Northwest Forest Worker Center, the study found these men work in inhumane and unsafe conditions.
About 55% said that they either bring their own water or drink from mountain streams. So we're having a lot of workers who are drinking untreated water on the job.
Less than half reported getting safety training in an industry where the fatality rate is 9 times above average for private industries. More than 40% of the participants say they were hurt on the job, but these injuries often go unreported.
Employers don't want their workers' compensation rates to go up, and workers actually fear retaliation on the job if they report their injuries.
Others said if they wanted to be taken to a doctor, they'll throw immigration on them. So immigration would throw them to Mexico, and immigration took a lot of people to Mexico. Even being hurt like that, they would take them.
The hardships made worse by the price workers had to pay just to get work. The job seekers often left with 2 options. The first, pay a smuggler known as a coyote thousands of dollars to help them cross the border illegally. The second, pay just as much to a contractor to help them come on temporary visas. A good deal until you read the fine print.
Since many paid $3,200 or $3,500 for a coyote to bring them across the line, and they came risking their lives, for them, it was better to pay that. But either way, the contractor was taking advantage of them.
The workers are asked to pay cash to avoid a paper trail.
Ya no quería gente de Mexico. He didn't want people from Mexico anymore. He wanted people from Guatemala, from El Salvador, because those paid more money because they come from farther away.
According to this former forest worker, the higher price tag of traveling a longer distance is $6,000. That's 400% more than the actual cost of the H-2B worker visa, which the government requires employers to cover. Today, many of the hands caring for your forest say often there's no light at the end of the tunnel, and say the cost of travel, lodging, and safety risk at workers' expense leave many with less when it's all over than when they first started.
No one would be in the business if they lost money. They have to rob the one who's at the bottom, the poor worker, el trabajador.
Muchas personas no saben del trabajo que se está haciendo en la sierra. Many people don't know about the work being done in the forest. They see their pretty forest with green trees, but in reality, they don't know the sacrifice people make. El abuso físico, the physical abuse, the psychological, and possibly even mental too.
Covering your news in Medford, Jessica De Nova, News 10.